this isn't Build-A-Buck Factory, but if it was, I mean, this is about what you're looking for. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Thank you. There we go, boys. That's a wrap. All we got left is some doe harvest, but as far as the bucks go, heck of a season right there. As good as it gets. None other than the big man. That's him right there. All right, guys, we're out here looking for one deer in particular. I happen to know that he's shed. He's got a big hematoma on his right side, so you can tell what deer it is, and he has shed. I really like areas like this right here, just grassy areas, and just off a food source are ideal. You know, they go eat whatever food source you got, and then they come over and lay in the grass. A lot of times on the edge of the field or a spot like this out of the wind. So let's give her a go here, see what we can find. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. It'd be really cool if we could find this shed.
Yeah. I'd say the breakdown of where we find them, you're rolling there, the breakdown of where we find them, about 50% of them are either in or around food sources, and then probably 25% bedding areas, and then the remainder would be in transition areas like this. We got some good trails going to and from bedding and food, so hopefully we'll snag one here. Well, so far I've learned two things today. I'm old and out of shape, that's one. And two, we have an antler right there under that cedar. So, must have laid right there, I suppose, and dropped that. I've been taking pictures of these cedars like this where they don't have limbs way down low in the timber. Seems like every place there's a cedar like that, there's a bed under it. I've been watching that, so let's see who we got here. Oh, none other than the big man. That's him right there. Hopefully you guys can appreciate the size of that antler. Think about his middle of his forehead's about right here, and that's the width on one side. Probably 14, 15 inches, I would say, just on that side, spread-wise.
That's a tank.
Oh man, heavy too. You guys got to feel that thing. Well, hopefully he makes it through the season with that hematoma and comes out of the winter in good shape. That's the only concern now. Now let's see if we can match it up. One down, one to go. So you see that hillside's got the snow on it there?
Yep.
Just to the left of that snowy patch. That was where the other antler was, right there.
70 yards in front.
Yeah, some TSI right there. Let's just head down through this section. When we get down to that bottom, we'll go through whatever we can spread out in there. See if we can come up with it.
Big shed.
Oh yeah.
What is that? Is that him?
That's got some mass right there.
I can't tell. It's times down. I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
No, it ain't him. I know what deer that is. That's still a solid shed right there, though.
Heck yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. We're on the board.
Man, nice spot.
Yep.
It's a big old weight.
Owen said, you shed hunting rye? Right there's one.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
Do you know that deer?
Yep. Yeah, he's 5. Well, he's 6 this fall. Awesome.
Pretty one. Nice
The
start.
other side, yeah.
Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Owen sent you to the good side.
Yeah, I see why. That is a dandy. Oh, it's here. I got you beat. You want sure?
Yeah, I hadn't been off too long.
No.
Man, I thought it might be a mongo the way it laid there like that.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't see the tines, but nothing wrong with that as it is.
No, sir.
Mike, there's a trail that comes off the side.
See, right when you lose focus and try to like see where everybody's at.
Dude, what even is that?
What'd you find?
A little something.
Just a little one. I mean, what? That is insane, dude.
Not much chewing either. It's not bad.
Is it just that hole in the beam? Holy moly.
What are the odds?
Look at the hook on that thing.
They laid out here pretty much in the wide open. They still got to it.
Yeah? That's the only spot?
Yeah, that's the only spot.
A little bit at the very tip.
You know what's odd? It's got this hook on the other side too, like that.
Look at the mass on that thing.
It's the frame. This other side's just as wide, comes clear out like that. Well, we came in here for a mission. We had to bring in some recruits, but we came up with it. Thanks, guys. That is awesome.
How old's that buck?
It's 5.5.
5.5-year-old.
We almost walked past that again.
When you guys walked by it last time?
Yeah, we've been all through this.
All through it? Gavin, you spotted it? Just that, boy, that's a tough,
that like that?
that's a tough lay with just the end of the beam sticking up. Yeah.
That's just,
You got 12 inches up to the G2 just on the beam.
You know what's funny? I just told Gavin, I said, you're due for one.
Could he be the one?
I went above it. Well, we're gonna call it right now. I'm gonna call this tree right over my shoulders where we're gonna get a crack at this buck. We've got 3 years of history kind of trying to pinpoint him. And I think this is the spot right here. So we're gonna work on everything around this area right here to enhance this the most we can. We'll put food here and make sure the bedding's what he needs. I really believe that's gonna be the tree right there. So we'll go ahead and call our shot. Thank you. You guys been seeing us shed hunting here lately. We're gonna get to that here in a minute, but first, before we get to that, I've got to challenge Devin to a shoot off, so let's go. All right, guys, here's the shoot off. We're gonna do 9 arrows, highest score wins, and we're shooting for a high roller by Morel. Winner takes that baby home today.
What do you have to say?
You should have just put it in the back of my truck, because I'm taking it home.
I love it. I love it. I think that's more pressure. I'd rather be the underdog right here. Got that first one out of the way. I took my knock off, good thing you ordered some. Nice shot, Devin. You blocked the 10 completely. I think it's a 9. Oh, look at that, you dirty dog. You skipped me almost completely out of the target. Yeah. But you need a knock, so at least that was worth it. So we've got 10, 10, 20, 19, 28 to 29. I'm leading. Say 9, 9, 9, 9, 11, 10.
Who's winning?
Tied. Yep, last round tied. Last round, he's gonna let me go first this time. Seems how I've got 2 glance out. I'm not making up excuses yet, but if I lose, I'm gonna use it for sure. Uh-oh. Not good. Pressure starting to get to him. Not good.
I'm not sure.
This might be sudden death.
I don't think so. I think he won. He got me by 2, I think.
I think you 11 that last one though. 2 11s, that's gonna do it right there. A boom and a boom. The rail target is coming home with me. Woo!
It's already here.
I didn't want to say that part. It's staying home with me. Well, we're back here to where we found one of these sheds off the Loch Ness buck. So you found a big shed, now what do? I've got 2 scenarios for you. This first shed is one that we came up with about 10 years ago. Actually, a farmer found this shed. Biggest shed that I actually own, it's 98 inches. Huge buck. So like any passionate whitetail hunter, I did everything I could to find this deer. This wasn't a farm that I had permission on, but I went and got permission on several farms around the area. Like I said, I talked to the farmer, found out where the shed was found and all that. And so now what do? You know what area it was. So the first thing I did was put out cameras. I just tried, you know, scanning, say, half a mile around where this shed was found. Is that his home core? Was he just traveling through? I mean, so the first order of business is to get your cameras out that following summer, see if you can pick him up anywhere. Even though, you know, obviously in summer, he may be in the summer range, which is different from his fall. That's fine, but we're just trying to get eyes on him anywhere just to get a clue that he's still alive and, you know, where he may be living. So I spent all summer and early into the fall trying to locate this buck on several different properties, and I never could come up with this deer, which obviously had been probably the biggest deer I ever hunted, but if the other side matched. But anyway, that's just one scenario. I mean, in this case where you have no history with the deer, you just know that he exists. That's really about all you can do is just run your cameras, you know, velvet scouting with the spot and scope, you know, that kind of stuff, and just try to locate him. But like I said, I was never able to, so I never did get to hunt him. But that leads into this next scenario, like the Loch Ness monster here. I do have history with this buck. So you picked up some big sheds, right? So now what's the next step of this guy? I do have some history with him. What do we got? I think 3 years of history with him. So I'm gonna go back and look at all my trail pictures and figure out every place I've got a picture of him, and I will map that out, just put a mark on a map, and it'll all start to come together where he likes to be. I actually got some footage to this buck. I think it was 3 years ago, and it was early season, coming to a green source. He was feeding in standing beans, headed to a green source, and I I feel like if we can create that same scenario next year, he may do the same thing. So from that point, once I know where he likes to be, I want to do everything I can to try and keep him there. And for me, that's providing food, like several food sources right in that area. So you try to make him predictable. I want to know where he's feeding, and I try to provide that. So, okay, you know where he's feeding, and through running cameras, hopefully you can figure out where he's bedding. So if you got those 2 points, you're going to have a really good chance of getting a crack at him. Of course, early and late, hopefully he's predictable. Now when you get into the rut, just throw all that out the window. Maybe he's still in that area and you just hunt the does, but maybe he's not. So the rut obviously is a little more sporadic, but my plan is to try to get him early. So I'm going to have some green sources where I think he's living. And maybe we can get, in the evening close to the food source, get a crack at him, and if not, in the mornings we'll be back closer to bedding. So follow along this year. Hopefully this buck turns into a buck of a lifetime for me. I feel like he's got all the makings. He's throwing on some blades, like he's gonna throw some drops on and some kickers off the twos. I really feel like he's gonna be a deer of a lifetime for me. So let's pray that comes to fruition, and hopefully you guys follow along.
Well, as you can see, we're cleaning up after these storms and tornadoes came through the Midwest and some parts of the South this past weekend. We got hit right through the center of the timber here at the house. Thankfully, none of the structures were damaged and everybody's safe. Can't say the same for everyone out there. There's a lot of people with quite a bit of damage. Some people lost their houses and quite a few injured down in Arkansas. So just keeping those guys in our prayers, and hopefully you guys can keep everyone in your prayers as well for a quick recovery from that storm. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the off-season series. We're excited to get back into that production and bring you guys along with all the off-season projects. Loch Ness is certainly an awesome looking buck, and we all have our fingers crossed that he's going to be alive and well, and one of the first bucks that shows up this summer in velvet. It'll be an awesome buck for Owen to chase. It's actually been a slow start to a lot of the off-season projects because of the weather. We've had some late snows and quite a bit of rain that's kept us from burning and kept us from getting on the properties with the equipment and getting some projects done. We did do a little bit of shed hunting, and I was able to pick up a couple of mature bucks off of the home farm. Picked up Anna's buck, got one of Big Mac's antlers earlier in the year. So still have some shed hunting to do on all the farms, and I'm hoping that when we do get out and burn these next couple weeks, that we can pick some of those antlers up. Another pretty awesome thing we're excited to bring you guys is the one time we did go down to the river farm and do some shed hunting, we found a buck that Bella shot on opening day of youth season. And we had a lot going on that time of year, never really started that story, but she made a great shot on him quartering away with the 350 Legend. Just didn't get a good blood trail and never could find the deer, and I figured we'd pick him up in shed season, and sure enough we did. So we're excited to bring that story to you guys and be looking for that in the next couple weeks. We also have turkey season around the corner here in Iowa. Youth season opens next Saturday, and I'll be excited to get Bella out there, and then statewide opens on Monday. We're a couple of episodes into our Chasing Red turkey series. The guys have went down to Florida, been hunting in some of the earlier seasons in the South, made a trip out to Nebraska. The hunting's actually been pretty tough this year. But if you guys are interested in checking out that series, you can find it on the Midwest Whitetail main channel on YouTube. We'll go ahead and put the link to the playlist in the bio below. As always, we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you back next week.